Available to the public in the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C. Almost everything the Soviets documented vanished. We don't know what happened with it. Stalin considered the trial to be a failure because not everybody was executed, so nobody there was bothered with it anymore. For the cameras, though, they needed brighter lights. Because of the bright lights, you see in some of the footage that the defendant sometimes wore sunglasses in it. That was to protect their eyes from the bright lights. The trial was organized by the Chief U.S. Prosecutor Robert Jackson, former Attorney General in the U.S., former Supreme Court Justice, who stepped down from the Supreme Court to lead the prosecution here. And he came here in July 45. The trial started in November 45. So in 4 months, he organized the biggest trial in history. They already had the location, but they needed security measures, witnesses, evidence, get them good defenders so it would be a fair trial, regulate access to the press so it would be a public trial, and something that people always forget, indictments. This was a new type of international law. They started here, so they also needed new indictments. He came up with 4 of them, 3 of which were brand new. Number 1, conspiracy to start a war of aggression. In layman's terms, planning the war years in advance. Number 2, crimes against peace. That meant invading countries without a proper declaration of war to get a tactical advantage, including neutral countries. Denmark, the Netherlands, and Norway. They were completely astonished when they were also being invaded. Number 3, crimes of war. That already existed. A long list of crimes that had also happened in wars prior to World War II, just not on that scale yet. And number 4, crimes against humanity. That was the Holocaust, so the systematic murder of roughly 6 million Jewish Europeans and the 6 million other civilians that had nothing to do with the war. All the people they killed for ideological reasons. Jehovah's Witnesses, gypsies, gay people, political enemies, handicapped people, Freemasons, the few Christians that dared speak out. That was all put under number 4. And the prosecution at first concentrated on the first 2 indictments, planning the war and starting the war, because they figured that's the easiest to prove. What they would do is they would take the minutes of a meeting of Hitler with some of the defendants where they planned the war. They wrote it all down, and then they had to sign it afterwards. And they read it here in the courtroom, and then they'd say, is this your signature? Were you present at this meeting? And you know what they all said?